It's really rainy. It rains a lot of months out of the year. And even in the summer, there might come a day and it just rains and rains. Like, it's raining today, but this is not rain. You go out and you're dry after 5 or 10 minutes when you come inside, but it's just soaking rain, and it's really cool. It's so green and it's really beautiful. It's cool though, because the summers are pretty dry generally. So if you're serving in an area, like I was in Temuco, right in that brink between spring and then summer, and I kind of watched week after week as the dark green hills kind of turn brown. And it's just cool to see that cycle, and how even in the middle of the city there are these great kind of rural areas where there are hills or fields and you can just kind of see them change, and I don't know, it's kind of pretty. So that'd be the weather maybe. So the city actually has a weird layout. It's kind of shaped like a Y. So it goes out really far to the east and to the west, or the northeast and the northwest, and then out through the south. There's a river that runs by it in the south, and on the other side is the biggest town in that part of Chile. It's called Padre Las Casas. And it's not actually part of the city Temuco, but together they're really big. It's probably more than 200,000 people. Transportation, it's a lot of what I saw in my whole mission. They have micros, which are these 25 to 28 seater buses that you jam as many people as you can onto. And they have different lines that go all over the city, and it costs about 80 cents to go on one for one ride. And if you go really far, they'll charge you a double fare. So that's the normal transportation. There are also a lot of what are called colectivos, which are the same basic idea. They run a set path, but they're just little black cars. So they seat 4 and they cost a little bit more, but they're obviously quicker because you don't stop at every bus stop. You can take a taxi anywhere you want, and it's way cheaper than it is in the United States. It'll probably cost you about $2-3. And the best way to travel, of course, is with your feet. They walk. We walked a lot, and most people walk because it's the cheapest and most kind of efficient thing to do. Architecturally, there are 2 types of houses in the parts of Chile that I served in. They're the older ones that are kind of, they're not really colonial style, but they're kind of reminiscent of that. They're mostly 1-floor houses. They're kind of square. They have big fences, and most of the time they go right up to the curb. Or not to the curb, but to the sidewalk. So you have curb, sidewalk, house. And there's no, like, that front patch of grass that we have in the United States. So that was kind of surprising at first, just to see a house just right on your right hand as you're walking down the street. So that's the first type of house. It's pretty common. But then when you get out farther into the suburbs of the city, the government has started a lot of projects where they will build houses for the people, and the people can pay 20% of the value of the house and have their own house. Because house ownership is really, really low in Chile. So those houses are kind of cool because they look like a normal house, like they might in the United States, but every single house in the whole neighborhood is painted the same. So they're all blue, or they're all red, or they're all yellow. But instead of just doing that, they're divided. And so each house has 2 houses, and there's a wall in the middle. So they have doors on each side, and it's 2 houses, but it's one structure. And I think that's one of the most unique architectural things I saw in Chile, and it's super common. It's super safe. I never heard about anything happening there. Crime and safety, yeah, I think that would be it. Don't get hit by buses. Actually, bus drivers, car drivers are really, really considerate in Chile, at least where I served. Like, they see you stopping, or they see you crossing the street, and they'll just stop. You wave at them, they wave back, and then they keep driving. It's really a pretty safe place to cross the street. But no, there are no crimes and stuff like that.